Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Cows Den podcast. I am Josh, and with me is Matt and Brian. Say what's up, guys.
Hello.
What's up, bitches?
And as usual, we talk comics, nerdy stuff, pop culture. We got Brian with the fringe science stuff, all that lovely jazz. So this week, I was a little unprepared. I took these past 2 weeks and took a trip out to visit my lovely family, and it was fun. Me and Matt got to hang out. We went to a couple of comic shops. Got Matt to
Get
get back
back
into the
in.
comic game a little
Yeah.
bit. You
If
know,
there's a bad addiction or a good addiction to have,
addiction to
that's
have,
really
right?
good. And to put it in reference, I've always kept up with certain comics, uh, like reading them, but not actually physically having them. And now since I got back into the comic book shop, it's like, oh God, I want to go back to that. So I think I'm gonna start reading a couple at a time, not go
Right,
too crazy.
right.
So
Don't go too crazy. I'm gonna start off also by saying, for anybody who is watching, I left my headset out there, so I get to use my lovely wife's headset. Hence the cat ears we hear, the color changing cat ears we got. It's actually a really nice headset, though. It's my first time ever
You pulled
actually.
off nicely.
Oh, thank you.
look
Um,
sexy with those ears.
so there is one thing I want to address that me and Matt we talked about in the last episode. I mentioned a comic called Once and Future. It's about King Arthur, and I had described it entirely wrong in the last episode. I have no clue what comic I was thinking of, but I was thinking of a comic, and I mean, if there's any listeners out there who know it, there was a comic where it starts off with just some random dude in the middle of the night walking into it's like an old, almost castle-looking building, but it's like downtown UK or downtown London. I mean, and it's like a really old-looking building, just some random dude walking in, and he gets in there, finds this secret little thing in the back that leads down into a cave. And then when he gets down into a cave, it's like a just a little open straight pool type of thing. And the sword is sitting right there. And it's definitely Arthur's sword because the person then transforms into Merlin. He talks to the guard that's guarding the sword, and he like kills her, and then he's like, it's time to cleanse this world. And I was like, what the fuck, like whatever this was, it looked crazy, and now I can't find any information on it. I have no clue what it was. I thought that was Once and Future, but I was entirely confused. Once and Future is a very different story.
It's
um
the Mandela effect.
it was crazy. I don't know, I could swear that's what Once and Future was, but Once and Future is actually a very different story. They Once and Future is like they bring back Arthur from like King Arthur, and he turns out to be this fucking bad guy. Like he wants to take over the world, um, and he's all demonic, crazy looking. He's like, I don't have pictures on me, but he's like zombified, freaking demon god looking thing, and he's trying to recruit people for his round table to start taking back the world because he doesn't like where the world is right now. And trying to find the guy's name, the main guy's name, who's the good guy, Duncan. Duncan and his grandmother Bridget. His grandmother Bridget, you find out was an ex like um, I want to say demon hunter, but not necessarily demon hunter. Like she would fight vampires and werewolves and all. She was fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer, basically. Um, but she's it's all retired now. He got put away for a long time. Now there's these people trying to bring him back and basically bring about the end of the world, or not necessarily the end of the world, but like a new world under Arthur's reign. And so Duncan's trying to stop him. And it's a pretty complicated story actually in terms of like I love the way they mix everything in. They mix in the Arthurian legend. It's really cool. It's really well done. It's on issue I think 18 by now. If you guys haven't had a chance, definitely check it out. It's epic, and I mean like they go grand scale with it. They go big, and it's really good. It's really good.
So
But yeah,
took.
I totally misunderstood it. I don't know what the hell it is I was reading. I really don't. And if anybody knows it, let me know. Because I only read that like first issue, and the end of the first issue, or I think, is him killing the guard, is Merlin killing the guard, taking the sword and being like, I'm gonna cleanse this fucking world. Don't remember what it was. Don't remember what it was. The other thing is, and Matt, this was one that when we had Drew on the last episode, he was talking about. It's called East of West. And this is an older comic. I want to say about 10 years old or so, but I checked it out just because he was talking about it. And it was very unique. It takes place in a world where essentially when we moved into the US, when like Chris Columbus and all them came into the US, there was a big war to fight against all the like Indians and stuff who were here, so we could take their fucking land basically. And in this story, the Indians fought back and we kind of lost, and so we kind of agreed to like coexist instead of taking over. And so now it's like this crazy future where there's no states, it's all territories, but there's still futuristic technology, and at the same time there is the coming of the apocalypse. The four horsemen have been resurrected, or three out of the four horsemen have been resurrected. Four, Death, did not decide to get resurrected with the other ones because he wanted to stay alive so that he could find his love and then find apparently the woman he loved. They had a kid together. And so there's people people from the government are trying to use Death's son to bring about the apocalypse, whereas the four horsemen are trying to kill Death's son. So dude, it's so back and forth. It's so crazy. The storyline is so out there, but it's so well written. It's so well done that I love it. I absolutely love every issue of it. So that is called East of West. And if you haven't read that, I highly recommend checking that out.
It's a comic book or graphic novel?
Comic book, but I mean, there's still there's trades that you can buy. They do it as like years. So like if you buy the compendiums, they come in Apocalypse Year 1 and Apocalypse Year 2 because they're trying to bring about the end of the world. That's the whole thing. It's just the futuristic setting is so beautiful. The artwork is so great. The storyline is just so intense. It's a little confusing right out the gate, but once you get the hang of it, once you get the idea of it, it's very well written and very well done. All right. So, and then what was the other one I want to talk about? Oh, Robin. There's a new Robin series. I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason I started getting into this new Robin series is because issue 1 came out on my birthday. I grabbed issue 1, and I grabbed. Oh, I don't have it with me, but I got Matt to read this one. And Flatline is a new character who got introduced in this. I bought even the like Flatline black and white 1/25 cover because I was like, it's my birthday comic. And it's, dude, I was saying this before we started. It's essentially Mortal Kombat. I mean, essentially, obviously it's not exactly the same, but Robin, Robin recently has been in some shit.
Now, hang on. Before you get into that, who is Robin?
Oh, well, okay. So Damian Wayne is the current Robin.
There you go.
Robin is Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul's son. Oh my gosh, son. And
those cat ears are already seeping into your brain.
No, dude, like I said, it's going from what 80, 90 degrees to coming out here to 115 freaking degrees back again. So it's sweating my ass off over here. The heat started getting into my brain. No, but so yes, the current current Robin is Batman and Talia al Ghul's son. It's Damian Wayne. Recently, he was the leader of the Teen Titans, but he bailed. One of the biggest things that's happened recently in the Batman universe is that Alfred is dead. Bane killed him, and Bane killed him right in front of Damian. So Damian, ever since then, has not been able to kind of recover from that. He's been having some mental issues. As much as Bruce is his dad, Alfred is his father figure, you know, and that's always been the case with the Robins. Like Alfred is really the dad of the Robins. So he's been having some issues. He decided, fuck being Robin, fuck being the leader of the Teen Titans. I'm gonna do my own thing. So he tries to find what's called the Lazarus Tournament, right? And it's just called the Lazarus Tournament.
Yep.
And
so he's trying to figure out why his mother and father are keeping. So okay, so like right now it's kind of splintered. There's two groups. There's the League of Shadows, and then there's the I can't remember if it's called the League of Lazarus or it's
Lazarus League, I think. Something like that, yeah.
And he doesn't understand why his mom and dad have kept him away from the League of Lazarus, the League of Shadows, and they're kind of working together, but they're not. They're also kind of fighting against each other because it used to just be League of Shadows, and then this splintered off to create kind of two groups.
Right.
And so he this tournament comes around once every 100 years.
Yeah, it was once every 100 years, and you need to basically fight your way into it. You need to prove to somebody that you're good enough, and somebody will show up and give you this little coin that says you're invited to take place in the Lazarus tournament, take part in the Lazarus tournament. And so he of course fights his way. Who does he beat? He beats, ironically, I want to say it's Bane's dad, isn't it? Like
yes, it's Bane's
King
dad.
Snake, I believe is his name.
Yep.
King Snake.
And he's blind, right?
I
mean, it's
This is the one one of the ones I got Matt to pick up. So it's only on issue 2 right now. Issue 3 actually comes out next week. So that's gonna be one of my recommendations for next week. But so far, man, it was good. Like right out the gate, I only read the first one. I did not get the second one. Matt read the second one, but the first one, it's like being Damien, he's this cocky little shit who thinks he's better than everybody. So he shows up and he's like, fuck the tournament. Let's fight. Why are we talking about rules? Let's just fight. Who wants to fight me? I'm fucking Robin. What you got? You know? And first person to come up to him her name is Flatline. And she's this little goth looking, all white, almost dead zombie looking girl. And she freaking puts him in his place, whoops his ass, and the end of the first issue is her ripping his heart out. And she was like, one thing you don't know, here at the Lazarus tournament, we fight to the death. And she rips his heart out. And I did read a little bit into the second issue. I know he wakes up and he's all healed up. His heart, heals up and everything. And they're like, well, I mean, you're on Lazarus Island. What did you expect?
So
right.
I will say, like, issue 2, there's nothing wrong with issue 2. Issue 2 is good, but it's just an explanation of what's
going on. Okay.
Yeah. And like his only friend on the island that I can gather is Deathstroke's daughter.
Yeah.
And that you find out that she's actually not even there for the tournament. She's there for something else. You don't know what yet.
Okay. She's probably there to find her daddy. No, because her dad wouldn't be there. I don't know.
No. But I think she's trying to find a way. I don't know if Deathstroke's dead right now in the universe. I don't know if she's trying to bring him back or anything.
I don't really know right now either, to be honest with you.
But you get an introduction to, what she says are Robin's like 5 biggest threats.
Okay.
And there's some characters that are like kids of characters, but then there's some characters that I've never known, and I think they're new too.
I think so too. I know that they said it was definitely the intro of Flatline, but I don't. Yeah, there's a few on there that I've never really heard of before, and I mean, I don't know if they've just been introduced before, and I just never heard of them, or if they're brand new.
But you do find out that the main rules are you do fight to the death, and that like here's the main setup that basically the first death is what's called like a freebie. And then the second death, after the second death, after the second death, you're offered a way off the island. That if you want to leave, you can leave. That nobody's going to stop you or anything. But once you die the third time, you're not coming back.
But basically, the whole fight to the death thing is to allow people to kind of unleash whatever powers, or not powers, just their skills.
I will say that's what the coolest thing from issue 2 is, that when Damien finds this out, he's like, "So wait a minute, I don't have to hold back." And there is a scene that's pretty cool in the second issue that shows some of Damien's, strengths.
Well, what are the rules of combat? Can they use anything
So
that's
you
just hand
can't.
to hand?
So I if I remember correctly, the rules are you cannot fight. Like it's basically like a 9 to 5 kind of thing. You have to fight during like day.
Certain
You
time
can't.
frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there
Sorry.
is and then there are certain sections that you can't fight. Like you can't fight in the housing. You can't fight on like the temple. Like there's certain areas that are kind of off limits.
And
Other
weapons
than that,
or
it's all
yeah,
goes.
no shit.
It's literally a fight to the death. Like you could sneak attack and kill the person. But yeah, you get the ones considered. I think they even called it a freebie, and then the second one is that you get an offer to if you want to. You
Like
can
3
leave the island.
strings.
Yeah, and if you
Free
get
shipping.
the third one, there's no coming back. So
Right.
um, I will say like I'm going to try to only get into right now like a couple of stories.
And I want to
Um,
say I think this is only a 6 to 12 issue series. Like I don't
Well,
think it's going to be an ongoing series.
see,
So
but
that would be something good to get into, and then when it's done, you can grab something else.
well, and the reason why I am only going to get into like one or two is for the 19th time talking on this podcast.
Herbert Kirkman?
I'm going back and really starting to try to collect the past issues of Walking Dead.
Yeah, dude.
And so I was actually able
Found
to
a
pick
guy who
up.
had a pretty good collection, or a
Well,
store that had a pretty good collection.
and
Yeah.
I still haven't heard from them.
Right. Well,
Um,
give it
that
time.
well, and that will give me the full.
That 97 to 102.
No, I have that.
Oh.
No, it
Oh,
will
the
give me 101
Whisperers
and
War.
102. Well, no, but
Whisperers too,
no,
right?
but I have that. That's what I was about to show.
Oh, okay.
What's the Something to Fear? There we go. It
Yeah.
would finish my Something to Fear,
Right.
which is like 90.
I want to say it's 97 to
101 and
102.
102,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. So like I'm missing 2, and then we also saw an unbelievable issue 100 cover that I've never seen. I didn't know existed.
It was
Josh
it
hadn't
was
seen, didn't know existed.
I hadn't seen it, but it's a Skybound Mega Box exclusive cover, which
Yeah.
I've never actually seen it before, so it was really cool.
Hopefully I'm getting those issues, but the whole reason why I'm only doing like 1 or 2 stories at a time is because I'm trying to finish my collection. And so
Yeah.
I was able to pick up the entire Whisper War run from beginning, when Negan cuts off Alpha's head.
Spoiler alert.
And then, oh my gosh, yeah. And then the aftermath, all the way through to the aftermath. And
Whisper's
my
War was
favorite-
awesome, man.
Well, and
honestly,
my-
all 3 of the big, we talked about this, all 3 of the big wars were cool. Sorry,
Yeah.
good.
And my thing with comics is I collect them to read them.
Right.
And I collect them because it's something I like. I don't try to. Well, yeah, it'd be great to have certain issues that are worth a lot of money, but I collect them to have them. And like
They might be eventually.
Right.
well, I love the Walking Dead covers, and there's a bunch
Oh yeah,
of
there's some
different
of those
covers.
covers are just
But
beautiful just to get
I love,
covers.
yeah,
Like,
just to have covers like that. It just reminds me of like the 70s. It reminds me of Dawn of the Dead. Just the cover art. And then I love this cover where you've got King and Queen, and I think
Dude,
that's
getting ready to
Queen
kiss.
and King.
Ugh.
Queen
oh
and
no,
King
that's
is
when
part of it. No, that's when he cuts her head off.
he's straight.
Oh.
Dude, Negan,
So-
Negan just walks in there and he's like, "I want to join you guys," and they're like, "Well, we don't trust you," and he's like, "You can trust me," and they're like, "All right," and then he cuts her head off.
And
Fucking
then
cuts
here's
her head.
another one of those. It reminds me of the 70s covers. I'm
And she
trying
has
to
a
go
daughter in
back.
the comic book,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. And she ends up a friend at the end, Josh. I always get those two.
He
mixed
ends up with the original girl, Sophia. He ends up
Yeah.
with Sophia in the end.
Yeah, and then
Rick, Carl.
And then what's her name?
Oh
daughter.
shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Driving me
But
nuts.
he ends up with her as his best friend. So, but
The one who
there's
was a
definitely
whisperer. Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool covers.
Mhm.
And anybody who's listened to podcasts, any of these episodes, feels like we talk about Kirkland every other episode.
Yeah.
This was my coming back into comics, and I'm extremely thankful to have Josh come and visit, because it kind of gave me that push to get back into it.
Well, and there's
Because I
one
haven't.
thing. There's one thing to talk about. It's another thing when you see them firsthand. You see that issue right in front of you. You sit here and go, "Shit! All right, I want it. Yeah, give it to me. Give it to
Well,
me."
and
How
I've
much is
I've
a comic
always
book nowadays?
Depends on what you get,
yeah,
man. And some of them are trying to,
$3 to $8,
yeah, anywhere from
depending on.
$3 to $8.
No, that's not
Um,
bad.
And then
and I
there's
mean,
special covers
and
and
Well,
there's special. So it all depends too on, yeah, incentive covers. They have like a like I think I've mentioned this before. Incentive covers are, let's say you have a 1 in 25 cover. That means the shop had to buy 25 copies of the regular issue to get one of
one
this
of
issue, this
those.
cover. So every shop, you'll never find a shop that's going to sell you the incentives at cover price. They're gonna. A lot of places will do eBay prices on them. A lot of places
Mhm.
have like, oh, if it's a 1 in 25, then we'll sell it for $25. If it's a 1 in 50, then we'll sell it for 50
I
bucks.
still don't think that's not too bad, really, in
And
my
I mean,
opinion.
and then there's places who will be like, oh, well, we know this 1 in 50 is going to be super popular, so it's $100, trying to
Yeah.
be. And I mean, I'm never mad at it. They've got to make their money too.
well, and that's why I'm hoping. I told Josh and I told the guy at this comic book shop, I said, man, I want the 101, 102,
Yep.
and then that special 100 cover.
Yep.
And I told Josh afterwards, I was like, I know that the guy who was selling it had paid $50 for that 100 cover. I'm hoping to spend $100 between the whole three.
Right.
It's probably 3 or 4. But then
Right.
he had like low numbers, like number 20 or number.
Dude, he had one of them that
30.
was like signed by Kirkman and Adler or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like,
So like
shit,
I was like,
okay.
I'm definitely interested in those.
Um,
But I know I'm gonna get 100, 101, and 102.
so real quick, I'm gonna wrap up here in a minute. Give me just one thing. I do want to talk about. I got a mail call. This is for the ones who can see the video. I got a mail call that just came in on Friday. It's my "Something's Killing the Children" #1, signed by James Tynan. And not to brag, but this is like a $1,500 comic on eBay. And then I also sent off my Department of Truth. So my Department of Truth #1 got signed by James Tynan. And like I said, those are more for the visual.
How many of the what was the first one again?
Something's Killing the Children.
How many of those do you have? Just one?
So of #1 of the first print, I only have one. But I mean, they're to the point where I've got a fourth print that sells for $200-300.
Jesus.
And now
What'd
I
you
have
pay for them?
Yeah, ironically, dude. So I was
This is
behind on
crazy.
this. I
This
was
is crazy.
behind on this. This one had come out and it was out for a little while. It hadn't quite shot up just yet, but it was getting up there. And this dude charged me $50 for the #1.
Mhm.
And when I got it, from the look of it, it had like a little ding in it. And I was just like, hey man, you didn't mention this in the description. I mean, I was hoping to get it as near mint as I could. Can I just send it back to you and swap it out? And for like another, because I see that you're selling more than one copy. Can I just send it back to you and swap it out for another copy? At first, he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then he suddenly was just like, actually, you know what? I don't trust you. I don't know. I don't want to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he just ended up being like, well, what if I give you like a partial refund? So he gave me $20 back. So
Okay.
I only spent $30 on it, and it came back at
It's still
9.8.
9.8.
It came
Yeah,
back
Wait,
at
you said
9.8 anyway.
that's pretty good, right?
It wasn't signed, was it, at that point?
No. I had to send it in to get signed. I got it signed and graded. And yeah, it came back at 9.8. And I thought the ding was there, but apparently it's just something that's on the cover because they
It's an
got it. They
optical
looked at it, got it
illusion.
at 9.8. So yeah, wound up
Oh,
spending
yeah.
$30 on it. And that thing's worth like $1,500 now. I'm so freaking happy.
Nice.
about that.
My Josh, I still
It-
think your Spider Gwen's gonna end up.
Oh
being
yeah.
more.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'll tell you,
and
mine.
that's kind of a mix for it because the story for me for Something's Killing Children is just unbelievable. I
Right.
honestly wouldn't care if this thing was worth $100.
$5. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
A signed copy of anything is basically gonna be worth a minimum of like $50 to $100,
Right.
I wouldn't care if that's
I'll
all it was
disagree
worth.
with that. I'm gonna
Okay.
show you something. I'm gonna show you something. But
so,
I get what you're saying. But dang it, there was that's like with me. I had showed Josh. We had talked a while back. I'm I was into sports. But like the sports cards are up and down all over the place. But like I
they are
showed
kind of a roller
him,
coaster. They're just
yeah. But
yeah.
I showed him. I said my 4 cards. I have 2 Mike Trout rookie cards that right now are worth combined anywhere between 2 to 3,000, but they're gonna just keep going up because the dude's the best baseball player to ever play. But then I have 2 Kobe Bryant rookie cards, and I told him the story about how I found those. And let me just tell you, anybody who's listening, you know the old adage of, "Oh, I found a $50,000 comic at a Goodwill or at a thrift store."
I always get shitty when I see somebody.
Who's
do
ever
that.
lucky like that? Though?
Right.
But I was one
That's
of
what
those
he
people.
said, yeah.
I found 2. I mean, they're
You're
mint
shitting
condition
me.
Kobe Bryant. It was a binder. It was like somebody got rid of their kids, card collection up in the attic or whatever. There was a binder that had probably like a couple hundred cards in it. And I flipped through it. I got a Ray Allen rookie card, which is only like a couple $100, but I got these 2 mint Kobe Bryant rookie cards. I paid like 50 cents for all 3 of them.
Yep.
And they're worth anywhere right now, especially with him passing away. Unfortunately, they're worth anywhere between on a bad day $3,000, on a good day 20 grand. I mean, it's just yeah, because of it being Kobe Bryant. So
Gotta
like
get them graded.
right, I need to get them graded, which I have a card shop that I haven't been to in forever, but I'm going to do that. But this is that old adage that Josh, when he came here, he was like, "Man, I want to kind of
I want to hit a few flea markets because you never know. Because I've
right."
always
And
heard
we
crazy stories.
right, and we ended up hitting we ended up hitting one thrift shop that I haven't been to in forever, and we got a couple of
A
small
couple decent
finds.
little things, yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing
but
crazy,
but
but it was
I'm
good.
definitely one of those people that is a treasure hunter, is a thrift store hunter, because you
Mhm.
just never know what you're gonna find. And some people know what they have, and some people don't. Some people overcharge what they think is worth millions, and some people undercharge, and some people are cool and they go, "Hey, I can make $50 on eBay, or I can sell it right now for $20." It's always a good thing to check. It's always a good thing to ask, because
Oh
you
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
It's the same thing with those Walking Dead comics.
Mhm.
There were none in that comic book shop, but I asked the guy. He brought out this box of
He's like, oh, we
sub
actually just
100.
had, yeah. He was like, we just had
Oh,
somebody who sold us a big collection of them.
yeah. And I
So
mean, he had easily 50 sub 100 issues,
yep.
and those are going to be the hard ones for me to find.
Mhm.
So you never know if you don't ask. You never know if you don't go look.
So real quick, last thing I want to talk about is Loki. I don't know if either of you have actually watched any of it yet.
Watched
Not yet.
Loki.
most of the first episode.
So there's for some reason apparently there's back and forth on it. I love it. I love every single bit about it. I liked WandaVision. I know Matt did not, and that's fine. Um, he had
I'm gonna
specific
mute.
reasons. I know he had specific reasons for not liking it, and that's fine. Falcon and Winter Soldier was good. It just didn't give me that wow factor. Like it was good. It had the action of you'd want from like a Captain America type thing. But I talked to somebody, I think it was Harbor, Brian. I think I talked with Harbor, and he was like, we were saying that it never quite went that next level. Like it was good, just never quite
Right.
hit great. Or was that you? It might have been you.
Yeah, I think it was all 3 of us.
But dude, Loki to me from the start has been fantastic. I love every single bit about it. I love what they're doing with the story. I love Owen Wilson in it. Owen Wilson, like, and I didn't realize those two would have the kind of chemistry that they've
Right. I'm one of the
had.
people that Owen can be annoying sometimes.
He can be.
Right.
He can be.
Very good. They're very
But
good
no,
together.
he's killing it. And the show itself, man. I watched the second episode. It's only got the first 2 episodes so far. The second episode has already got a lovely twist at the end. It's actually 2 twists. Something happens, and
Okay,
then they
please
reveal
don't say
something.
anything because I haven't watched. The
I
second
won't. I won't spoil it, but man, you can tell that they're leading into the next phase with this. You can really tell. The other 2, Scarlet Witch, WandaVision, and Falcon Winter Soldier. WandaVision felt just like, okay, it was her dealing with getting over the death of what's his name,
Vision.
Vision.
And I'm not gonna go
And-
into it, but
and
my problem with it was
know.
that it wasn't big.
It wasn't big
so-
enough, and I get it.
Is there another one after Loki? Are they doing anybody else?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I was just curious.
I honestly don't know. I'm sure they are, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what their next one's going to be. But to me, this one has felt like just it's going to have the biggest impact on the future, and I feel like the story itself has been by far my favorite.
Let me throw something out there too. Like the story is good from the first episode that I've seen, but it's also the fact that what's his name Hiddleston as
Yeah.
fucking Loki,
Loki.
is just on point.
He's on
Like, that was
point. And
great.
and I love the fact that, and I will, it's a tiny spoiler, it's not going to spoil any of the story, but it's Loki from 2012 when Endgame, when they went back. Remember, the Loki accidentally grabbed the Tesseract and then bailed. That's the Loki it is from in the show. So it's like, that's, they kind of give you, because I remember people being like, well, how the fuck is Loki still alive and blah blah blah, and that's the Loki that they give you. So it's really well done. The story is really cool.
Is he supposed to be in Love and Thunder, Loki?
I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know jack about Love and Thunder, other than that it's what's her name? What's her name's going to take up the Thor mantle, or she's going to be
Jane Foster.
yeah, the mighty Thor. And then I just wanted to run through, because I'm killing time right here. I'm running through my recommendations for the week. I want to get like a freaking recommendations. No, super
That sound
quick.
pretty good.
For last week, because I usually do 2 weeks, because I do last week and then next week, because by the time the next episode comes out, I can do last week and next week again. Last week, Batman Fortnite 0 Point, the Batman Fortnite story. It's stupid how good the story actually is, considering what it is. You think it'd be freaking kiddish and dumb because it's Batman and Fortnite, but they're doing well with the story. It's really intriguing. Nightwing 81, ever since Tom Taylor took over Nightwing, it's been back to classic Nightwing, and it's killer. Absolutely recommend Nightwing 81. Actually, Nightwing 81 just came out on Wednesday, and it's pretty much sold out, because they said it's the first cover appearance of the new villain. Anyway, I grabbed Static Season 1. I honestly am not a big Static Shock fan. I mean, it's not to say I'm not a fan. I just don't know much about them, but that's kind of why I grabbed this one. See what it's like. Let's see here. Marvel's still doing their Heroes Reborn thing. I'm going to be honest, I don't know jack about it, but I know it's popular. Venom number 200 just came out this past week. And then we got, Radiant Black. Radiant Black's killing it, dude. That's what these are on the back here, is Radiant Black. It started out a little cheesy, but the story's picking up. So I got issue 5 that came out last week. Walking Dead Deluxe, which is the colored, remastered, remade versions of Walking Dead, is on issue 17, which I believe it's 19 for Michonne. So here in a couple weeks or a month or so, be sure to.
You're gonna have to remind me of that, man, because I want to get that.
Right, I'm gonna grab like every cover when it comes to Michonne. And then Ultra Mega. Ultra Mega has been this fuck fest of giant kaiju fighting, giants fighting kaijus, and it's incredible. And then for next week, it's all DC for me. Batman Reptilian. He's gonna be fighting shit. Reptile? Is his name just Reptile? No, what's the oh my gosh, what is the name of the it's not Croc, because Croc is, oh no, it might be Croc.
Killer Croc.
Might be Croc. And then there's something called Checkmate, which I've never even heard of this, but I feel like this sounds cool as fuck. It's Green Arrow secretly funding a group called Checkmate. It says it's going to be Lois Lane, The Question, Robin, Steve Trevor, Manhunter, Bones, and Talia al Ghul. And I'm like, dude, that's a combination I want to know more about. So the new Harley Quinn comic is on issue 4. The Harley Quinn comic has been, it's great. It's like drawn kind of cartoony, but like still looks really nice. And it's just been kind of Harley trying to be good. It's essentially the idea of it. Justice League, since issue 59, Brian Michael Bendis took over. It's been really good. They're trying to bring in Shazam as part of not Shazam, Black Adam as part of the Justice League. They're helping him do something right now. Robin, issue 3, that Robin story we were just talking about, issue 3 comes out next week. Something's Killing Children number 17, and Teen Titans Academy number 4. Those are all my recommendations for the week. Mostly DC, because I'm a DC guy. It's basically DC and Image. So all right, I'm going to bow out because I've been talking for too damn long. Brian, what is up, Brian?
All right.
Didn't have Brian last week, so let's get caught up on this guy. He had a birthday, so
I went on vacation.
Freaking wiener kids.
Yeah, no. Speaking of
So,
that, happy
so
Father's Day.
happy belated
yeah,
birthday and happy Father's Day. Yeah, dude,
yeah,
both
both
you
of you
guys.
guys.
Yeah, we're
Anybody, any
all
dads
three
listening?
daddies here. So happy Father's Day. All dads out there, yeah.
Yeah.
Or all single moms who have to be dads. You know,
At the same time,
or lesbian couples. It's your dads. It's happy day. Happy day.
you do you.
Just happy day.
Amen.
Anyway.
So anyways, the whole idea I've kind of brought it up, I think, before with most religions are tied together some way, some form.
There's some
but
deity, some sort of god, and some
right.
sort of
And
something you pray to.
I saw a little photo where it showed it shows Horus and Attis, Dionysus, Krishna, Mithra, and Jesus Christ, and it shows all how they are all the same person, how extremely related all their life story is with each other. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into that. And it was so insane at how much hey, you got to turn on your screen share.
Oh yeah. So it's saying how much they're all like,
I mean, their whole life story is
What
like
the
almost
fuck?
the same thing, just changed up a little bit.
There we go. It should be okay. Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
Yep, it worked.
Yay!
I
Hi.
think. Okay. So there it is. So you see Horus. Horus was born on December 25th, born of
Like
a virgin,
Jesus.
star in the east, adorned by 3 kings, teacher at 12, baptized at 30, had 12 disciples. Attis was born of a virgin, born on December 25th, was crucified, was dead for 3 days, and resurrected. Dionysius was born of a virgin, born on December 25th, performed miracles, was called King of Kings, the Alpha and Omega. He was resurrected. Krishna was born of a virgin. He was a star in the east, performed miracles, resurrected. Mithra, born of a virgin, born on December 25th, 12 disciples, performed miracles, dead for 3 days, resurrected. And then Jesus Christ,
So
born of a virgin. But this is what I'm saying. It's not true for most of it.
the one thing I keep seeing in common here is born of a
December
virgin.
20. Yeah.
I think it's that women just don't want to admit they were cheating on their men.
And so basically I was like, that just seems way too out there. Like I just couldn't believe that it would be that specific for each and every single one of them.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I want to look into this a little bit. So I started with Horus first, since he's the oldest known deity for this purpose, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so Horus so he was born to the goddess Isis.
Okay.
And that was after she retrieved the dismembered body parts of her husband, Osiris, who was killed by his brother so he could take over. His penis was thrown into the Nile and eaten by a catfish. And sometimes some of the stories say that happened, that it didn't happen. But anyways, she used her magic.
Dick was started in the Nile.
Right. And she used
the
her powers.
old catfish dick trick.
She resurrected him and made a penis for him.
So, okay.
You know,
you're like, well, I'm gonna give you your dick back, so
right. And they conceived. She conceived Horus, and then Osiris went to go be the king of the underworld shortly after that.
Okay.
Now after that, she fled. So this is like one of the things. Okay, Jesus, Mary's mother, had to flee.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically, because Seth wanted to kill Horus. That's other than that, there's not a whole lot of similarities between him and Jesus.
Okay.
He is the sky god, so I guess you kind of think heaven and all that kind of upper stuff or other stuff. But then we're going to go to Attis. Now Attis, he was the husband to another goddess. He was he's linked to a demon. It's like, I don't know if I pronounce it right. It's like Agdistis.
Okay.
But anyways, this demon could possess both male and female genitalia. So that scared the crap out of the gods, basically. And
transsexual god. Like, hey, well.
the Olympian gods.
Right.
So they plotted to kill him. And actually, Dionysus gave him a sleeping potion. And while he was asleep, Dionysus tied his penis to his foot. And then when this demon woke up and stood up, he castrated himself.
Oh, dude,
The blood.
there was so much
Oh, dude.
blood and sex in the Olympian gods. Like they
In
so
my
much fucked
like
up shit happened to the Olympian
all these old gods, like these are the original comic book superheroes and all that stuff,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But anyways, the blood fell to the earth. It fertilized the earth. An almond tree grew, and a woman walked by, saw the
And
almonds.
fuck the tree.
No, kind of close. Well, anyway, she took the almonds and put them in her bosom. Eventually, these almonds disappeared, and
They
she
were
became
anal
pregnant
beads.
with Attis.
They were anal beads.
Yeah, that's how fast they disappeared.
Bosom
But
my
anyway,
ass. They were up her ass.
Yeah. So he was born of a virgin.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, he kind of. So he was beautiful and all this stuff. People loved him. He was supposed to marry a king's daughter, and during the wedding, the demon came back. So again, demon, devil, Satan, whatever, kind of similar, but not really other than this.
Yeah.
So the demon came back, drove all the guests at the wedding mad. Attis and the king both castrated themselves, while the bride cut off her breast.
So many chopped off dicks in this story, man.
And breast, what a waste.
Right? Well,
uh,
depends.
I mean, yeah, no. Other than that, there's not a whole lot in their stories that add up.
Oh, okay.
But
that's kind of the point. This is, I mean, you help to illustrate that some of what you see, like, oh, there's so many similarities, can also be kind of bullshit.
Don't believe it.
Right.
Don't believe everything.
Exactly.
Now, again, he was born of a virgin, but not like, a miraculous angel, but just in the story. And another thing, like,
right.
Most religions, once starts kind of becoming more popular, they kind of start saying, oh, yeah, that's what you believe is kind of similar to what we believe, it's just a different person. But yeah, that date's the same date for us too, just to hook them in and kind of be like, you come over here now. That's right. Our side was a little bit better than theirs. So now we'll talk about Dionysus. And Dionysus, out of all of them, I think has the closest relationship to Jesus out of all the other ones. Now he's considered the wine god. And
I know who Dionysus is. Yeah.
Yes. So wine and Jesus.
Well,
turned
I mean,
water
I know
into
that
wine.
much of it. Let me say that.
So
I played the game Immortals: Phoenix Rising. They do a lot of they Dionysus is pretty cool. His stuff. Oh, and there's another game, Hades. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, Hades. No. I remember you talking about the Olympian one. I never heard of Hades.
Hades is essentially you're the son of Hades, and you're trying to escape Hades, and you fight your way out until you die, and then you start over and you fight your way out again, and you start over and fight your way out again. That's a simplified version of it, but the game is addictive as all hell. But you get upgrades from the gods as you're moving through to try to get out. So one of them is Dionysus, and his is always wine related.
They love his wine.
Yep.
But so Dionysus, he's unique. He is considered Olympian god, but he wasn't at first. Now his mother was immortal, and
hold on, his mother was mortal, or his mother was immortal?
Mortal. She was mortal.
Okay.
She was mortal. Yeah.
Mortal. Okay. His mother was mortal. Okay, gotcha.
Now, basically, Zeus came down. Zeus liked to
just spray his shit all over the place, dude.
Just everywhere. So,
I can't help but feel like if somebody was like, "I'm one of the sons of Zeus," you'd be like, "And who isn't?" Like, anyway,
hey, brother. So, anyways,
okay.
Hera,
so his mom was
Zeus's wife,
right? Okay.
Yes, she was upset, became pissed off, and she basically told Dionysus' mother to tell Zeus that she wanted to see him in all of his glory. And Zeus did that. She immediately died because he's a god.
Yeah.
Now she was pregnant,
Right.
And the story doesn't really state if like he just got done doing the deed and impregnated her and the hair came down right away, or if she was actually, like showing a baby bump or any of that stuff. But anyways, as soon as she was destroyed, like her body basically exploded. So Zeus grabbed they some say it's the heart, some say it was actually the baby itself, but he sewed Dionysus into his thigh
Ooh.
and gave birth to him that way. So
Okay.
not necessarily a virgin, but it's again, you can't say that's a virgin. She was impregnated by Zeus,
You
all
know,
that stuff. But
I'm sorry, real quick. It got
no,
brought
go
up.
go go.
It got brought up recently that Loki is gender fluid. It got brought up because apparently when they're flipping through his file, it just pops up that he's gender fluid. And it's been back and forth of people being like, this is bullshit, this is stupid, this is fun, or like this is good representation, but this is also bullshit and this and that. And I'm like, he's a deity. I've always thought
Yeah, they did everything.
like there was a thing where it was like, okay, Thor turned into like a goat or a horse or something, or like
They could probably turn
like
into other
they've
genders.
there was one where Loki turned into I want to say a horse and gave birth to a horse. And like I want to say Loki has a son who's a horse. It's like why in Dionysus's name
Dionysus.
would you care if a god
Yeah.
is gender fluid or not? I've always thought of all gods of being able to kind of like
Do what they want.
do
They're
what they
fluid in
want.
general.
They're fucking gods, you
They're
know.
changing
Anyway,
water.
yeah,
Yeah, they could be male, female,
exactly.
both at the
Like
same time.
exactly. I don't know. I feel like it's such a
A
dumb thing.
reproduction.
Well, because when you're mentioning how Zeus, you said Zeus, so Zeus put him into his thigh.
Right.
And Zeus birthed him, basically,
Yes,
right?
technically.
Yeah. So,
and I don't, that's
you sit here like, yeah, but it's a dude. It's like he's a god. Shut up.
still,
You know, like
it's still, and he's no virgin. We all
right.
know that,
Oh
obviously.
god, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
Hera is now even more pissed off at him because he still kind of tricked her after she tricked him and or
Still had the kid.
mother.
Yeah.
Right. So she had the Titans attack him and rip him into shreds.
Oh.
Now some of the parts were rescued by his grandmother. And again, that's kind of like Horus. Horus, his father was ripped into shreds. Now this is Dionysus, but again, these are where some of the similarities kind of come into play with each other.
Okay.
She used other parts to bring him back to life and then raised him as her own. Now, Hera soon discovered that he was still alive, so she made him start wandering the earth. She made him go crazy. He starts wandering the earth. He starts teaching people how to make wine. He started kind of gathering followers, like roaming the earth, kind of like Jesus is supposed to, a fisher of men, and all that stuff.
Okay.
But eventually Dionysus, he becomes sane again. Hera eventually accepts him as a god, and he gets to go to Mount Olympus. He, from what I know, there's like it's kind of like he just ascends.
Okay.
So it's just one of those things.
Not necessarily dies, but like
right.
Yeah.
But he did perform miracles. He was the one who gave King Midas the power to turn anything into gold that he touched.
Midas touch.
The Midas touch. He also could restore life to the dead. He went to the underworld. He went to the underworld and brought his mother back to live with him on Mount Olympus. So, Jesus went down and all that stuff during when he was dead for the 3 days. Other than that, couldn't really find a whole
Jesus won his gulag.
The gulag.
Jesus won his gulag.
Now we'll move on to Krishna. Now Krishna, I was gonna show pictures of all these guys, but I guess I don't need to.
Yeah, no, I mean, not specifically. If you want to,
yeah,
we're working on getting the video up and running. So if anybody's been listening to us and hasn't watched the video, we are working on it, and we should get it up and running pretty soon because I finally figured out a way to at least upload it. I probably send them to Matt to kind of edit a little bit, but we at least know how to upload them now. So
right.
Anyway.
Well, anyways, I always I always Krishna. So you know, a lot of Indian gods, deities, they're blue. Have you ever noticed that? You know what I mean? Like their skin's blue.
It never occurred to me, but now that you say that, I'm
Right.
like, yeah, okay, like Shiva
And
and
right, yeah. But I don't know why everybody else is. I was just thinking about Krishna, so I was like, why is his skin blue? So Krishna, he kind of has some good similarities too with Jesus Christ. So before he was born, his uncle, who was a king at the time of wherever, was told by a fortune teller that there was going to the kids that were going to be born soon. One of them was going to be his death. So
okay,
he was like, I'm killing all the kids. Anybody that's being born right now, they're dying. So uh, Krishna's mother fled with him, and he could perform miracles, but basically he was raised by adoptive parents because she fled across the river. I can't remember what the name of the river is there in India,
okay,
but um, raised by adoptive parents. He was kind of growing up. He could perform miracles as a young kid. He was known as a trickster. I think they said something like they called him the butter thief or something like that because he just did goofy stuff, like nothing, just childish little stuff. But he did perform miracles. He raised hills up from the earth to protect the town from floods and heavy rains and all that stuff. He battled his serpent. So again, snake, Satan. So Krishna battled a serpent. He preached repentance, that your soul is immortal, that you will have to go somewhere eventually. Um, where's that? Now yeah, okay, never mind. I lost my spot. He taught people how to be a good person, how to reach enlightenment, how to ascend to the next plane. Because like yoga yogis and with their religion's different when the chakras in the body and how you have to reach enlightenment and all that stuff and the
yeah,
astral plane. But he taught people how to do that and get to ascension.
okay.
Eventually he was killed. Somebody shot him with an arrow.
Mm.
He slowly lay dying. He forgave the person that killed him. And
As
then,
all gods do.
right, as Jesus would have, and as he did.
Not
But
not the
then,
OG God. Christian
yeah,
God, that motherfucker, he is fierce.
he messed you up.
He will flood your ass. Anyway, sorry.
The Old Testament God,
Old
not the
Testament.
New Testament
Hey, that's
God.
right.
Anyways, okay, so then he ascended
Okay.
into heaven, what we call
Well,
heaven.
yeah, they're whatever version
Right.
of that. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
Afterlife.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to Mithra. Now, Mithra is actually an Iranian god that the Romans adopted. When they went over there and conquered, they saw the cult of Mithra and they're like, hey, we're going to bring this guy back. He seems like a badass. That's pretty cool.
I
So,
feel like I've heard of that before. I don't know anything about it, but I feel like I've heard of that before. I don't know.
right. Well, anyways, when he was born, he was holding a torch and a knife, which is why he was so big with the Roman soldiers, because they just took that as being amazing.
A fucking
But he was
badass.
right. He was born beside a sacred stream that was under a sacred tree. So he literally came out of the earth. So
Okay.
I guess virgin, but not even at the same time. He just kind of came.
He was grown.
Right. Nothing a lot other than that. Like he killed the life-giving cosmic bull in their religion, which fertilizes the earth, all this stuff. um I can't really, he was considered the god of light. And that's another thing, like all of these deities, all of them have halos, in their, like Horus has the sun disk above his head, like they're all considered to be the sun, the bright star, all that stuff. That's another very common thing with all these deities. Even Buddha has a halo over him. So that's how a lot of the religions are tied together as well. Mithra, I couldn't really figure out a whole bunch on him, but he was from Persia. The Romans adopted him, and actually during the time they were trying to fight against the religion of Christianity, but eventually that was no more. That didn't happen. Obviously, Christianity is the biggest religion in the known world right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Buddhism, bruh. No, I don't know.
but he was
Hindus? Aren't there like something? Isn't there some
yeah.
crazy number of Hindus? I'm not second
No,
guessing
you're
your
right.
Christianity thing, but I was just like, isn't there
No,
just a crazy number of
yeah,
Hindus?
there's a huge amount of them.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Christianity is still the largest religion, but I
Right,
could be
right,
wrong.
right.
But eventually he didn't even
If
die.
anybody wants to fact check and send us an email, I'll be
Go for it.
we'll fix it for you. Okay.
Dear dumbass.
There you go.
um, but he wasn't crucified. He didn't even die. He was taken to paradise on a chariot while he was
Okay.
still alive. So
Ascended, kind of, right?
yes,
Like,
yeah. But he wasn't crucified like the little thing said he was. He was
okay.
crucified and all that.
Right.
Other than that, that's just you gotta do some research every once in a while. I thought it was
Right.
very I
Well,
mean it
and it like I
interests
said,
me.
it's cool. It helped open up like, and that's where like your section, your I don't know how to say it, your
Forte.
sure. I don't know,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah, okay. I
I mean,
know what you mean.
obviously there's skeptics, there's people who believe and don't believe in a lot of the stuff you're talking about. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's nice every once in a while to be like, this is what I found, and this is what I found that's more accurate. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So it's a good way to kind of open some eyes on it. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I still think all religions have very, very strong similarities. It's just not
Similarities,
that
yeah.
very specific. All of them being born on December 25th and
Right.
dying and being resurrected, virgins. Like
Like I
no.
said, to me, the whole virgin thing is just they don't want to admit they cheat on their man.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably they would have been killed back then,
Oh yeah.
stoned to death or whatever. But that's it for
Yeah,
me. That's all I
yeah,
got.
that was good, man. That was cool. Learned about some new deities today.
I got teased.
All right, Matt, what's
It's
up?
all
What's up?
you,
What's
Matt.
Some deities. You can have DD's nuts.
He's nuts. I knew he was gonna do it.
Deities, these nuts.
I knew he was gonna do it.
So
I found this guy at one of our
nice.
half price. That was
Yep.
half price books. I found that guy.
So I'm going to talk this week about two big things for me, and that's the season 6 ending episode for Fear the Walking Dead, and then also a Quiet
Robert
Place.
Kirkman.
Yeah.
More?
Well, a Quiet Place 2, which me and
We
my
might as well
brother
just start
actually
calling
ended
him
up watching.
Bob at this point.
Right.
What's up, Bobby K?
Well-
What's up, Bobby K?
Well, and I mean, they're we already talked about Loki, which I'm into too as well. And we
I
talked
know,
about
and I
the
know that's
comics I'm
usually
getting
your
into.
I know that's usually your area, but I figured
Yeah,
I
comic.
watched both of
Yeah.
those, and that was kind of a blend of both of
Yeah.
ours.
So, and I will say that there hasn't been as much entertainment with the
fucking
whole
COVID.
virus and everything.
Finally
So,
starting to open up though.
it
Finally
is,
starting
it
to-
is.
Yeah, no mask and
Yeah.
stuff. It's crazy.
So they've released some. Before I get into that, they've released some still photos from the set for The Walking Dead, the final season, season 11, and it looks to be promising. We'll wait and see how they end it.
When's that airing?
August. It's going to start in August again. I will say I'm a little bit disappointed that they're only going to do one season on the Commonwealth. I mean, I feel like you do 2 seasons
Oh, yeah.
on. You do 2 seasons on the Governor. You do 2 seasons on Negan. You do 2 seasons on the Whisperers. This is all an
I mean,
AMC decision.
in
So
all-
AMC,
in all honesty, though, the Commonwealth felt like it was
was
treated
rushed. It
almost more like a one season thing in the book, like in a way.
but
You
that
think
goes
Rick's
back
gonna
to
show up?
No, he's not. So
You don't think
here,
so?
no. So here's the thing: is that they're tying everything together. They're starting to tie everything together. But AMC years ago said, The Walking Dead will go on forever. And I think that the virus, I think they overreacted and overcorrected. They said that they were going to go on no matter if the comic ends or not, which they are in so many ways. But like they're going to start
Spin-offs.
doing spinoffs and everything. So Walking Dead season 11 starts back up in August. I'm hyped for that. I'm optimistic, I should say, because I hope that they end it well.
Because they clearly cannot end it the same way as the comics.
No, and the reason why I don't think Andrew Lincoln is going to come back is
But he's got his own movies, right?
Yeah, they're hell bent on him doing this trilogy series. They're going to do a trilogy series movies with him that supposedly is going to have Michonne in it. They're doing a spinoff of Daryl and Daryl and Carol.
Daryl and Carol.
Daryl and Carol. Supposedly,
Cute.
one of the other spinoffs that's being pitched after that starts up is possibly doing a Dwight and Sherry spinoff when they do the spinoff of Negan. So, like, they've already got on the books a Carol and Daryl and a Here's Negan spinoff. And supposedly that's going to also spin into a Daryl or a Sherry and Dwight spinoff, which I think would be cool. But Fear the Walking Dead. So
much Walking Dead.
Yeah. So the concern, which I was skeptic about that because of what's going on with The World Beyond. I hate that fucking show. The only reason why I watch is to see
I've actually heard that it, and this is just what I read online, that it's getting better, but
it's only got
that's
one
the kids,
season.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like they're like, oh, it's these kids and they're gonna grow up and it's gonna get better and better as they're growing up. And
I don't know. We'll see. But so Fear of the Walking Dead season 6 ended, and it was a monumental ending. I mean, I loved it. I was last episode.
This is gonna be spoiler alerts. If
big spoilers.
What happened to the nuke, dude? What happened to the nuke?
So last episode ended where the episode was kind of going, and then they actually got the nukes off. So, and I say nuke because it's multiple.
What happened to the nukes?
So this whole episode is about the fact that they are trying to come to grips with the end of their lives. And it shows it from all these different aspects. And there's some people who are still trying to run to get away. There's some people that are coming to grips with, dying.
Like, just fuck it, we'll just die.
This is Fear the Walking Dead, you said?
Yes, Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead. So last episode, the Doomsday Cult set off the nukes.
Set off some nukes, man.
Yeah. That and they admitted that it was multiple warheads and that were sent off. And that they're peppering it around the area. So you don't know where it's gonna go.
They're all duds.
No, they're not.
I know.
Which I thought they were going to do that. I thought, okay, the only way for them to survive is that one or some of these are duds. So,
right.
So there's a couple of big storylines of this were Victor coming to grips with being a bad guy and being okay with it. It was you don't see Alicia, which is weird because she's kind of the last main person from the original beginning of the series. But you've got Morgan, who is going to kill himself and the lady he's with right now with a shot to the back of the head that blows through his head and her head.
Oh,
and they end up stopping that because of something that happens outside.
Talk about two birds.
Well, let me tell you though, this is a really cool idea that I've never thought of and I've never seen on any kind of zombie thing. This is going to sound kind of stupid, but there's a girl at the beginning of the episode. She hears what's going on. She sees the missile flying above, and she ends up her car breaks down and her leg breaks while she's trying to fix it. And she has a baby. She pulls out this gun and she has a dog. She attaches the leash to herself, and you think, okay, she's going to shoot the baby and then kill herself. No. So she puts the baby on her back and then shoots herself she stabs herself and kills herself. And and you're like, why would you not just blow your head off? You don't want to eat your child, right? Well, she moved the backpack to the back so that she couldn't get to it. And she attached the dog.
Oh, so when she wakes up, she can't
Yeah. She attached the dog's leash to her body so that it would pull her towards hopefully somebody.
Man,
it pulls her. The dog ends up actually pulling her towards Morgan, who ends up killing her and saving the baby. So she knew that she was going to die. She was hoping that it would pull her somewhere to somebody alive that would save the baby.
I mean, the odds of that though, before
Yeah.
that baby dies, like,
but
oh
like
no,
it's something.
oh, it
It's
is cool. It's a very
something
unique
that's-
Oh,
take. Yeah,
yeah.
unique
Yeah.
idea
You know,
for sure. Yeah,
and it's just something I've never seen
Very
before.
morbid,
Yeah.
but good.
Very, very, a lot of thought went into this. And if
Right.
you notice,
right.
Fear the Walking Dead has had a lot of thoughts go into the writing, the production. It's gotten so much better. But the coolest thing is the interaction between John Dory's father, John Dory's, now he died, so his wife, I guess presumably
Man, he was one of my favorites too. That
right,
sucks.
dude. Well, his dad seems to be filling his role pretty well, but his, what's it called? The person who survives when somebody passes away. It's a
Widower.
there you go. Yeah, his widow. So his widow and his dad have caught up to the Doomsday Cult leader and the girl who killed John Dory. And so they are at this little bunker. Or they're kind of in the middle of this field. You don't know that there's a bunker there, but there is. And they go back and forth on, the girl. She's like, this is who I am. She's a killer. She's a bad person, blah, blah, blah. And they go back and forth because John Dory's dad's the one who imprisoned the cult leader. So what ends up happening is John Dory's dad gets shot in the shoulder. John Dory's widow shoots the gun out of the girl's hand, and they end up going down in the bunker as soon as this is coming down. Like the missile is like 50 feet from hitting. So the girl is sitting there like, you never cared about me. This was all fake. You just needed a second hand to turn the missile key. And he just kind of shrugs. She shoots him in the stomach and then shoots him in the head. And she turns as the missile is hitting. And I shit you not, it is the fucking coolest image. I didn't think that they were going to do it. It's the image of her standing there and a flash of light, and then she turns to fucking ash. Like immediately. She's just standing there stone cold stuck and turns to ash. And so the missile goes off, and you see all these different some people got far enough away to where they just felt the impact, but they weren't hit with like radiation. Some people were able to get underground, and so they're still in the blast zone, but they were able to survive underground. Some people couldn't make it out and got fucking turned to ash. Like it's nuts. Like and then it ends with Morgan and his girlfriend and this baby standing outside of the ship that had sent the missiles into the air, and you see in the background like 3 or 4 missiles that hit in the mushroom clouds. So you don't know who's going to end up dying, who's going to get
Who got out and
eviscerated,
everything, right?
who got out and everything.
Right.
And I honestly, I know it sounds cheesy. This whole might sound cheesy to some people of this missile going off and everything, but like I always wondered what would happen and everything like that. And I love how they ended it. I thought it was an amazing scene seeing this girl get eviscerated by the explosion.
Just that shot, right? Yeah.
That shot was beautiful. I didn't think they were going to do it. I mean,
Right.
and I'd have to say that in my opinion, Fear the Walking Dead, ever since Dwight and Morgan got there, has just picked up exponentially. And I think that Fear the Walking Dead is going to go longer than what The Walking Dead. I think that they are starting to see the numbers move.
It's because they're allowed to have a little more freedom with it. Whereas with Walking Dead, you start straying too far from what's supposed to happen, people start getting pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man, the most heartbreaking thing for me this season was seeing John Dory actually die. Like it was heartbreaking. Josh, he's, in my opinion, he's up there with Daryl as far as best original character. He was their version of Daryl. He was like he's like a cowboy. He's like,
right.
well, he's literally
he's just
like
cowboy.
a cowboy.
Yeah.
And I keep
Mountain
saying
man.
I keep saying they're out west. So apparently I totally missed this. They're actually in Texas. So you've got the and that pisses me off a little bit because I was hoping that they were going to do the Western Alliance. They may still merge because, come to find out, the helicopter shows up to save part of this group. And it's the helicopter that was seen in The Walking Dead. It's the helicopter that is a part of World Beyond. So part of World Beyond, which is up in the Northwest, which is hopefully the Western Alliance. This helicopter saves like 3 or 4 of them, and you see it going off in a distance as the missile goes off. So they're starting to tie all 3 of them together. I'm really hoping that I hope that Fear does the Western Alliance, because I like the Fear writing better than World Beyond. And so I'm really excited to see what the future holds with Fear the Walking Dead. I'm much more optimistic about it than I am The Walking Dead, only because I fear that they're going to mess up the ending. But so that's Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead has been renewed for season 7 and on. The producers have said that they want to do 10, 11, 12 seasons of Fear. It's all up to AMC, because AMC wanted to do fucking 20 seasons of The Walking Dead, and then all out of nowhere, without telling the producers, without telling Scott Gimble, just announced that they were going to shut it down. So who knows? The second thing that I want to talk about, though,
Yes,
is
John Krasinski's back.
John Krasinski. They did Quiet Place 2. Before I get on that, there has been an announcement that they're doing a third one,
Which
but
is
it's not going to be by John Krasinski. It's good, but it's going to be
like
set
in
in
the
that
universe. Yeah, I heard that too.
I will say, Josh came with me to the theaters. I will say that he does an unbelievable job of suspense. And the first 10 minutes,
movie in the theaters, guys.
I know, it was fucking crazy. And I love the fact of 2 things, that Krasinski and what was the production company?
I don't know.
But whoever it is, they stuck to their guns and said, no, we're releasing it in theater. We're not going to HBO. We're not going to Netflix. We're not doing any of that. We're doing it in theaters. And there was an opening, like 30-second monologue from John Krasinski that I thought was very personal and was very touching, about how he was very grateful for you to come out to the movie theaters, that the movie theaters need to survive. That, that was really cool.
I will admit I'm kind of on the fence about that, but that's a whole different discussion. So
right. Well, but there's no, and I am too, but there's no experience better than
I mean, if you want to look at fucking look at fucking Avengers Endgame. The moment Captain America caught Thor's hammer, the entire, I don't care what fucking movie theater you're in, the entire
you
theater
heard
it.
Or think of Avengers Assemble. Avengers Assemble. He finally fucking said it. Or I Am Iron Man. Imagine if this fucking virus came out for that. It's gut wrenching. So okay, so on to the movie. I will say that it is one of the better sequels that I've seen in a while, excluding Marvel and comic book movies.
Thor Ragnarok's got to be one of the best sequels in the history of
one of my
cinemas.
They say Love and Thunder is supposed to be better, they're saying.
But I will say
it's Taika Waititi, dude. I'm down with him, man. And he anyway.
I will say that John Krasinski surprised me with the first movie. It's easily one of, if not my favorite, newer horror or suspense movies out there. And he did a great job of the second one. And man, that first 10 minutes,
yes,
it's like
dude, it opens up for a little bit of a spoiler. It opens up with the day one when it all first happens,
and that's how John's able to come back in the movie.
Yes,
right.
Which I thought was great too. They didn't overdo John. You got to see him again, but they didn't he didn't overdo it.
Perfect amount of time.
Prequel.
Like the perfect amount of timing. He understood the crowd wanted to see his character again, that they were so heartbroken how he died when he died in the first movie. It was so awesome seeing him again.
Yep, it really was.
And seeing the kid, his little boy too. That was cool too. But the first 10 minutes, even though it's coming, it's like you're on your fucking seat, dude. Yep. I don't know about Josh,
it goes from 0 to holy fuck, like that, like because you're like, oh, okay, what's cool? All of a sudden, shit, and it's just, and then you see John running, and you're just he doesn't hesitate either.
No,
it smacks against a car or something, and it's just
and he loves
boom, he's out.
He's with his daughter, or is
Yeah,
he
he's
with
got the
yeah?
daughter. Yeah.
And he loves his wife and his other two kids, but get her to safety.
Right.
And I love that, seeing that, and then it leads into where we're at after the first movie. And there are going to be a lot of spoilers here, so I'm just letting you know. Obviously, they now have the weapon, which is her earpiece, and
Yes,
they've
which
got
they
it
found
set
out
up.
from the first one. Yeah.
Yep, which they have set up mobilely now with the mobile speaker to go.
It's really cool. Yeah, they're holding like a little radio, and they just hook it up to it with
Yeah.
like the microphone, a little radio with a microphone, like a
Bullhorn.
it's like a karaoke. It's like a karaoke mic. Like a yeah.
Because they do have a radio, but that's to
Bullhorn.
listen.
Bullhorn would have been good too, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cillian, you find out in the first few minutes that they're like best friends with this guy and his family. It's Cillian Murphy.
Which whether
Cillian,
it's
Killian,
Killian. He came out
It's
and said it was
Killian.
Killian, but I've always known him as Cillian. So yeah, I'm down either way. I don't care.
But
Killian.
Killian.
I liked his character. I felt like it was heartbreak. He was such a heartbroken character when they found him. He had lost his family, and so they end up finding out that there's a radio station that's going, and I don't know
It's
about.
playing
I
one
don't
song
wanna,
on repeat.
It's like
I don't
Come
remember what it is.
Here. I can't
It's
remember.
something like Place Beyond Water or something like that, or Beyond the
Use
Ocean,
those
Beyond the
pipes.
something like
sea,
that.
beyond
Somewhere
the sea, beyond the sea.
waiting for me. Oh no.
Something I can't
Somewhere
remember.
it's like Beyond the Sea, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they decode that. Yeah. Sorry.
But dude, the twist and turns that John does with this, man. Like, I remember the scene on the train. Remember the scene on the train where you think that Cillian took the weapon and left her there.
Oh yeah.
There's
a point where so the idea is that she kind of decodes that this song means that they're on this little island that they're not far from, that there's a group of people on this little island that they're not far from. So
and
she
there's
decides
no monsters there.
She wants to go there. Nobody else wants to go there. So she kind of says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go there."
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And during that process, they end up coming up to this crashed train. He catches up to her, saves her. They are spending this night, and he wants to go back. She wants to go forward. She wakes up, and in that deafening silence that John has built, which is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, the way they do.
She's so heartbroken because she wakes up and he's not there, and the weapon's not there. Her earpiece and the speaker. And she goes out and she drops to her knees, and you're like, oh my God, he fucking left her there. And then he walks into frame.
Like you see his feet come into frame, and you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's basically
there,
like, yeah, I just went up the road a little bit to see what was going on or whatever.
Right. And it's just those
like, oh
heartbreaking, gut-wrenching suspense moments.
Leave a note next time.
And Murphy, dude, I think was an excellent replacement for John. I mean, I'm not replacement, but somebody to put in as the male protagonist part of it, and I think he did a fantastic job.
Yep.
That whole scene where they stumble upon those survivors, those random group of people.
Oh, the dock scene.
Where he's all
the dock scene.
That whole scene was
in the dock scene. I'm not gonna go over it because I don't want to ruin it, but I will say you find out that these aliens are.
They came in.
Oh, you also find out that this is on a meteor in the first.
Well, I was going to say, spoiler alert. Yeah, that opening thing. It was a meteor that was coming in. It looked like a meteor anyway. It looked like a meteor. Let's say that.
But you find out that they can't swim. That they're afraid, or they die in water. They cannot swim.
Yeah, they straight just start drowning in it. Yeah.
They end up getting to the island, and the problem is that one of the aliens was on another boat that floated out to this island. They find out on this island that there's no monsters there, and that there's a community there, that they're living, they're surviving, and you get to meet, oh my God, Amistad. What the hell is that actor's name?
Which one?
I always go towards Amistad. It's
he's
Jimon Hansu.
He's in Black Panther. He's the opening, isn't he? In the opening? Oh no, it's not that guy. No, he was in Guardians as the opening. He's the one who goes.
Yes. Yeah.
Who?
Who?
Star-Lord.
Who? I
Yeah.
always point back to Amistad with him. That's his
Yes.
biggest role ever.
Wait, wasn't he Papa Midnight? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, Papa Midnight.
Yeah.
He was.
So
Okay.
he's the main actor on this island.
So-
The alien comes over.
well, and what they were trying to do is get her thing to the radio station.
Yes, so
Yeah.
that it can broadcast and
Just
Send
affect
that
Get
these
signal
everybody.
out
aliens to where they can
big.
kill them.
Right.
So they end up getting to the station after the alien had made his way on, and it attacked and killed
It's crazy. It's
fuck
crazy
ton
how
of people.
quick it just
Yes.
kills people, man. It really
Yes,
is.
Yes. And you know, the Jamu, he ends up, getting killed by one of the aliens. But the scene inside of the
The
radio
radio
station,
yeah.
it's just so intense, and the way that John builds on his intensity is just so.
I can't get over Matt was we were at the theater. I mean, there's only like 4 of the people in the theater, but Matt's still like on the edge of his seat, like, go, do it,
Go,
fucking do
come
it.
on, get to it. Oh my God, Cillian's gonna die. Cillian, he's gonna fucking die. He's gonna die for her. He's gonna die. No, don't die. He's so
Right?
fucking good.
Right.
No.
No, it's definitely edge of the seat
Yeah.
shit for sure. Yeah.
And even the first 10 minutes, when you know what's gonna happen, it's edge of your seat kind of intensity.
that first 10 minutes,
So-
first 10, 20 minutes or whatever was just incredible. It was truly an amazing opening. It's like it kind of almost rushed in the sense of how quick it gave it to you, but it never felt rushed. It really gave you that sense of like you went from 0, like I said, you kind of went from 0 to sorry, kind of went from 0 to 0 to holy shit in a matter of seconds in that opening scene.
Right. And it's
Mhm.
so intense also how quickly John realizes that they sense sound.
Just dude, yeah,
And-
yep.
Yeah.
And then there was that little diner. They're hiding in the diner. Girl's phone goes off, and you're just like, shit. Anyway, but yeah, opening was really good. The ending was really good too. The
So
ending was very,
yeah, it's
very
definitely
intense.
up there. It's definitely very good. So Josh, I'm actually gonna end right there.
Yeah.
Because I gotta deal with something.
Dog
real quick.
barking.
So
Yeah.
go ahead.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap up.
Yep.
Brian's having some issues too, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up there.
Just battery power.
yeah,
I'm
of
pretty sure it
course.
still had like
No,
20,
it's all-
30 minutes, but
It's all good. Like I said, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up there, man. Definitely. Brian, I don't know if you ever saw Quiet Place 2 yet, but if you guys,
I haven't.
if you
I was
haven't-
kind of
huge spoilers there. Sorry.
well, I wasn't
Uh,
ignoring it at the same time, but I wasn't trying to listen to specifics either.
Right. Killian Murphy
Killian.
is fantastic. John
Peaky
directed
Blinders.
amazing. And I did hear as well that they're supposed to have a third one that's not going to be a direct sequel. It's going to take place kind of in the same universe.
Mhm.
But
Is he going to be writing or anything?
apparently he's got nothing. I don't know if he's going to write it or anything, but I know he's not directing it.
Okay.
Matt, I don't know if you know. Do you know if John is going to be writing the sequel?
No.
Or is it- he's
No,
just
the third one he's not.
I know he's not directing, but
I don't know if they're going to continue
Right,
like,
well, and
like a fourth one or something, but I
right. But I
and
know
I
that
don't
this
know-
was not a direct sequel.
right. So and I don't know if they have announced if they're going to make a direct sequel to this one or not, but I
Right.
know that the next
Right.
one is going to be built in the universe but not have any of those characters.
Right.
And that it's not supposed to have John writing or directing.
Well, and this is unrelated, but it is a very, very good represent. Or it also is one of the few movies out there that has good representation of deaf actors and deaf characters. Lots of sign language usage, which you got to think in a movie where you can't speak, sign language is your go-to. So it's very cool in that aspect. I don't know.
Yeah. It's definitely an amazing sequel.
It was
And
very
if you
good
liked,
sequel.
If you liked the first one,
In my opinion, it was
definitely
on
recommend
par
it.
with the first
Yes,
one. I mean,
absolutely.
not better than, but definitely
no,
like
but
right,
right
on
there,
par with the first.
right there.
One.
It's
Yeah.
like 1A, 1B.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't know if you could ever capture lightning in a bottle the way they did with the first one, but they got pretty freaking close.
Right,
Like I,
right.
I felt like it was definitely on par with the first one. So as far as next episode, we'll have to see kind of what
Yeah.
comes out between now and then. You know,
Yep.
there is no more Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead right now. So hopefully I won't
Well,
have too much Kirkman to talk about. But,
I started Sweet Tooth on Netflix, which was actually I watched the first episode, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of shocked me how good it was. So I will continue on that and kind of give a little more in depth talk about that because that's
I
that's
was
Morty.
curious about that one.
that's based on a comic book. So
yeah, Rick and Morty. They
season
start
5
next
starts
Sunday?
this Sunday. Tomorrow starts
Or
tomorrow.
Okay, so that's something really cool.
It's debatable. I don't know if I'm gonna. I mean, not debatable. That's I may or may not get into that. I don't know if I'm gonna pay to watch them right away. And I'm not gonna watch them on Cartoon Network because I don't have cable. So.
Yeah. And then Warzone just dropped season 4. I
Yes,
haven't checked that out
yes,
yet,
that came out
so
and dropped
might have
yesterday.
some
So I'm
stuff on
definitely or
that.
2 days ago or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so,
check that out probably today. So.
Yeah, so I don't have any plans for in the future for the next episode, but we'll see.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, 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 hey.
Smoke weed.
Read comics every day.
Hey,
Oh yeah. Not weed.
That
no
too.
weed. No weed.
Hey man, California, it's legal. That shit's legal. out here, bro.
California,
Super cool to the homeless. No.
absolutely.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna wrap up. If you guys, as usual, hit up www.thecowsden.com. Check out the website. Website's got contact info.
Do it.
Website's got contact info. Email is just thecowsintheden.com. Shoot me something. Send me suggestions, comments. Like I said, if you want to be a dick and try to correct Brian on something or correct any of us on any of the silly and
Or
Killian,
suggestions.
Bring it, you fucking
I'm just
dick.
Killian.
I'm just saying, if you want to correct us on something,
Hey,
want to
don't forget about the
I don't
dragon,
care.
Josh.
You know, just
Josh. Did you talk about the dragon? Dragging these nuts across your face?
I did not. But I'm still waiting on recommendations. If anybody wants me to talk about some dick wipes and get us some promos here. So also Midas, talk about that Midas touch. We'll get that. We'll get a sponsorship here sometime. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Anybody's listening, thank you. Always
Appreciate it.
You guys take it easy, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Laters.